welcome to another episode of Breadcast Movie and TV Talk. This is the third animated movie that I've talked about because I don't watch that many animated movies, but this is one I wanted to see. On this episode, I am going to be discussing the animated movie Onward. Now, I remember the trailers for this movie and I thought that maybe, just maybe, it'll be different from all your typical Disney and Pixar animated movies, given it's an interesting mix of fantasy and modern settings and character design. So what did I think about Onward? Well, I don't know if there was a change from how the movie was around when the trailers came out and what we got for the final movie, and that's because the story is predictable and the message or lesson of the movie is easy to figure out before the movie is even over. I know it's a movie aimed at kids, but can we not get the same message over and over in our animated movies? The story is simple. The main characters, Ian and Barley, lost their dad when Ian was young. It's Ian's birthday, and their dad left something for Ian and Barley that happens to be a staff and instructions for a spell that would bring back their dad for 24 hours. Barley tries the spell, but nothing happens. Ian does it by accident, messes it up, and brings back half of their dad and broke the Phoenix gem that was used for the spell. So to do the spell again, they need another Phoenix gem, so they go on a quest to acquire one, and oh yeah, Ian can do magic with a staff. The movie is really them going on an adventure to get a gem to finish bringing their dad back, and at one point the police try to stop them, but that doesn't work. There's the typical Ian and Barley arguing and growing apart, and then of course, they have to come together at the end of the movie because Barley finds the gem, which unleashes a curse. There's a subplot of their mom going after them, which leads her to the Manticore, who used to be a fearsome warrior, because they need a sword she used called the Curse Crusher, because creative naming. So when the fight against the Curse Dragon happens, the mom and Manticore show up with the sword. This is also when Ian is able to perfectly do every spell he has done in the movie without fail, just all of the sudden, so perfect magic because the movie needs him to be. Their dad fully comes back to be able to have Barley to tell him goodbye. They defeat the Cursed Dragon and their dad disappears again. Of course, they end the movie by showing how now Ian is way more popular and can talk to people and get friends. The mom became friends with the Manticore and does super extreme stuff or something like that. Barley gets a new van and the movie ends. What the message or lesson of the movie is in context of the movie is this. Ian has this list of stuff he wants to do with his dad when they finish the spell. He realizes that he did most of this stuff with Barley, his brother. The point is that while he never got to have a dad, he got to do stuff with Barley, and Barley looks after him. I actually said this about halfway through the movie, and then Ian says it towards the end of the movie. It was that predictable. This is why I feel that the movie was a little bit of a letdown because of how predictable the movie is. I could tell when Ian and Barley were starting to argue and growing apart, and that they'd come back together for the final act of the movie, and that all literally happened. Again, I know it's a movie meant for kids, but does that mean that the story has to be so basic? It's like saying kids can't understand stories that have just a little bit more complexity to them. Not a lot, just a little. You could say that this could be used to teach a kid about losing a parent or something, but I kind of think that's stretching it because the movie doesn't really go into that at all. Not even a little bit. I like the setting and the character designs, but I just wish the story was told a little more than the basic nature that it is. Onward is a good movie and is enjoyable as well. That's all I have to say, so if you want to have the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.